Call to order the Paintsville Utilities Board meeting. Start with roll call. Ms. Nelson.
Present.
Mr. Kenner.
Here.
Mr. Spencer.
Here.
Mr. Wright.
Here.
All is present. Any correction to the minutes from last week? Last month?
Yes. Me, Mark is absent. I was not absent, I was tardy.
That's actually noted further down there that you came
Yeah.
in.
I said that right like the absent part on top.
I don't have no problem saying that. It's an absence party. Present or late.
Okay.
I don't think we did a motion for that. Okay, you want to change the agenda now to hear from Raymond and Jones?
You're good, I'll give her a call right quick here. Get her on speakerphone.
I approve the minutes.
I second.
Hi, President, it's Bob Pack, Paintsville Utilities. Good, here in an open commission meeting, got the 5 commissioners, got newspaper, camera would actually be streaming, there's a total of 15 people in the room. We'll go ahead and put you on the speakerphone. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Everybody here okay? Okay,
Hi, everyone.
kind of touch on what we're doing here. When we got the right to draw water out of Paintsville Lake, the Department of Army charges $4.774 million. Financed it for us for 30 years at 4 1/8%. It was 2010. 2015, we chose to refinance that for 5 years with a 25-year amortization, and we got 1.988% for the 5 years. And the idea there was to, in that interim period, was to attack the principal, and we have done that. The loan comes due in April, just under 3.19 million. At this time, I believe it is the time to go back long-term and refinance this. And Chris, I believe you agree with that. Would you care to elaborate on why this is a good time to do that?
Absolutely. So we're at near historical lows. We hit historical lows generally in municipal rates in 2012, with the exception of years 1 through 5 in the yield curve. And the yield curve slope generally is actually flat, roughly right now. But we're, with the exception of years 1 through 5, we're at near historic lows. So really, this is perfect timing for you all, both when you have a short-term aspect of your loan, and also when you're thinking about whichever route you use term aspect as well. We're looking at average rates, literally for a 30-year loan even, and under 3% at about 2.8, and 20 is closer to about a 2.6. So it's a good time to borrow long-term. Rates have been historically near historic lows since September. They've held. No one can predict where rates will go, but I don't see any reason at this particular time why it would change. But again, nobody can predict that.
Okay, how would you recommend we move forward at this moment?
So if you decide to go with condenser water, you'd have a resolution passed at your next meeting. It's non-binding, and it would be the next city council meeting. The city council would be the legal authority that would pass resolution/ordinance. It's non-binding. Basically, when we do this for, say, a refunding, the water district, the city, can pull out at any point in time prior to closing. So, I think the resolution is more of an intent to borrow. You pass that gives us the authority to send your information into the rating agency. Our rating agency is S&P. see it's not public, but there will be some information in an offering document. So we would send the information to the rating agency. They would take their time to review, issue the rating. We would market the bond that would provide the loan. And generally we a week to 2 weeks for that. And then that's when we lock in the rate. So in Kentucky, everything is competitive bid. So basically we set a date and time for a sale. And underwriters will go ahead and place their bid at that date and time. And the lowest cost wins, and that's a combination of their rate, which is the coupon, the yield, which entails any premium or discount, and their fee as well, which is called the underwriter's discount. So all of that is encompassed in the true interest cost. The lowest true interest cost wins. We generally have 3 to 5 bidders. And that point in time, rates are locked in for the entire term of your loan. So it's generally an ascending rate, but they are locked in at that point in time and it will be fixed. And then, you have about 2 weeks to sign all the paperwork and whatnot for closing. So the next resolution at the city council meeting, as I mentioned, it's really not binding. And then, would go through the process to issue bonds to give you your loan to lock in your long-term rate.
Anybody have any questions for Kristen? Anything else you think you need to add for Kristen?
One thing I always want to tell people, and this is true for any open market bond, generally there is a 10-year call protection, meaning that you can't prepay for 10 years. We have reduced that, and it really depends on supply and demand in the market as to what underwriters will accept for the same rates. We've gotten that down to 8 years, but there is a call protection there. So, and I can't even imagine this happening, but again, nobody can predict what's going to happen. In 5 years, your rate, in 5 years, rate plummets. You wouldn't be able to refinance. If for some reason somebody bequeaths you, a bunch of cash, and you want to pay off this loan, you can't. There's a big difference between us and rural development, where you can prepay that at any time without penalty. You can prepay this to the call date, which we would probably set this at 8 years, unless something changed drastically between now and whenever we sold bonds. We would set the call date at 8 years, and you basically would not be able to prepay for those 8 years. And then after that 8-year mark, you'd be able to prepay it, refund it, without penalty. So I always want to let people know that that's out there. And also, this is set up very much like rural development. There's sinking fund payments that are monthly, 1/12 of your next principal, 1/6 of your next interest. Those go to Regions Bank, and they're held by Regions Bank. It's part of the reason we get our rating that we do, because we're able to catch any discrepancies prior to their process. So it is still an account held in the city's name, and you earn interest, although in the last, we'll say, 10 years, nobody's really earned much. It's in the money market invested in treasury. So you can imagine exactly how much you're earning with that. But you do earn interest, much like you would at your local bank. I think that's basically the gist of it. And I think those are the primary details that you would want to know. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, or if, someone thinks of a question after this, feel free to give me a call while I have all the information as well.
Did you look at doing the same deal through rural development?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Well, he asked you if we looked at doing this through rural development. I'm not sure they would do this as a refinancing. And if we did, it would be a long process to try to get it done.
That's true on both parts, because you've gone through with the project. Rural development cannot do a 100% refinancing. They can only do a refinancing that is 50% or less generally it's not gonna happen quickly. And generally they want to be, in place from day one in terms of when you're doing your environmental, you're, letting bids, you're literally from every step of the way, they want to improve the process. So, like I said, I won't say never, but it's definitely not gonna happen before April. But I'm not saying it's not possible at some point afterwards. It's unlikely, but I'm not saying it's not possible.
Yeah. The reason I asked is because you were kind of comparing and contrasting the deal with Kentucky Rural Water Finance versus rural development, and I just wondered if that was available avenue to go through.
I get it. Well, we actually said this program last time, rural development is basically what I was saying, so that it was familiar to, the water districts and cities throughout the state, so that it wasn't a completely different process. The application process is much simpler, but in terms of the sinking fund payments, in terms of the structure, and in terms of, since most people in the state are very familiar with rural development, I kind of wanted to contrast a little bit in terms of, I didn't want you to think that you could repay at any time without penalty, for instance. I want to make sure that you're aware of the difference, just in case you think it might be similar.
And the sinking fund is the only reserve we have to have with this.
Yes, and actually to compare and contrast with Martine as well, they require a depreciation and maintenance reserve, which is basically 1 year's principal and interest that you build up over 10 years. We don't require that. What we require in the loan documents is a reserve that is set at the manager's discretion. So basically, you all as a board and Bob as the manager would determine what you think is appropriate for your depreciation. There's not a set amount, and we kept it flexible on purpose. So there is a debt service reserve at the Kentucky Rural Water Program level that if for some reason, in some horrible aspect, you weren't able to make a payment, you could hit that reserve and use it. However, you don't have to borrow it. So it's available at the program level, another way that we get our rating. But you do not have to borrow a reserve, and your depreciation set aside would be at your discretion. So again, technically, you could say that you didn't see any necessary, but,
Okay.
that comes up to your discretion.
We ready to move on with this? Sure.
Make a motion, we approve the bond issue with Kentucky Rural Water Finance, working through Raymond James with a term of 20 years.
Is that a resolution of intent to borrow, or is that to actually do it?
It's essentially, it's a request made to city council.
Second.
Correct.
All right, Kristen, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Is that what it says?
And she's willing to come to that meeting.
I heard her say about, that it starts out as just as a resolution, it's nothing binding.
Right, you can back out of it.
So that's what we're doing the resolution
Yeah, we're asking for the city council to pass a resolution.
of the intent to borrow.
Yeah, but at this point, we're
But
gonna,
we need to make sure we're wording it right.
yeah.
She'll have all the paperwork,
Yeah,
they
she'll
always
have
have
it.
all that.
Yeah, she'll have the resolution.
Are we supposed to put that out to bids, or,
They put it out to bid.
so they're just gonna manage?
Yeah, you're working with this agency that does bid process for you.
Okay. We ready to move on? There are no questions?
Yeah, is there why there's a difference in the amount due and the amount borrowed? There's about an $8,000 difference,
Yeah, it's about 80 after the fees.
fees within the match.
Yeah. There's an underwriting fee and a couple other things. We're coming out way ahead of what actually took 5 years ago doing this.
We used to use someone else other than Raymond James to handle all the city bonding. What was
I
that?
think Reuben Hayes.
No?
No?
You remember that?
I can't remember who it was, but you're right.
I mean, the city's used somebody for years and years and years and years.
That's why I didn't know, are we supposed to put out the bid for somebody else to come in and do something and go through all what they're trying to do?
Be kind of muddying the waters a little bit, I'm afraid to do that.
Well, we ought to.
They do have a slightly lower cost of issuance than say, a KLC or whoever. And that's because it is tailored for your, such as water utilities, that they've worked this program out.
I guess what we were talking about though is actually you could use any bonding agent rather than, you don't have to use Raymond James.
True.
And that's why, that was my point. This is the first time to my knowledge that utilities has used Raymond James. We've always used someone else, and I can't recall who it is, and I know the city has always used someone else. I don't know if they've used Raymond James. And that's where that comes into that $80,000 in terms of that's essentially what goes to them.
We've had other bond issues through rural water finance than Raymond James does theirs. They changed a few years ago. They did change a few years ago.
I don't remember Raymond James.
I think you're right, they did change a few years ago.
I just remember their council came in here and walked us through the process of what we had to do, and they had all the paperwork ready.
Bond counsel,
Pardon?
bond counsel, that would be Ruben Hayes, who worked on all of our RD issues. That's Ruben Hayes.
I don't remember Ruben Hayes either. That name doesn't ring a bell. Like it's Don something. But it doesn't matter.
Reuben's brother,
Pardon?
Reuben's brother.
Don Hayes.
We good?
We got a motion and a second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 3 on the agenda, review and approval of the operating report.
Make a motion to approve operating report.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Did you get the vote on the approval of the minutes?
Item number 4, consideration of construction pay request and change order.
Before we do that, I would like to look at one of our old business items, the I&I project. The way that's worked out, we do need to approve a little bit more money for that project. That's in my report to the commission. We need another $42,414.92 to balance that project out.
Make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Next time we need to move on to the change order.
What do we have?
For Josh or Randy, I can get it.
You go get that.
We do have a request for change order number 1 on contract 1 of the I&I project, Aikens Excavating, in the amount of $154,221.52.
I make the motion to pay that change order to Aikens Excavating in that amount.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Good to go.
Was there any other construction pay request?
We have the pay
Yes.
report. Do you not have them?
I have several.
Do you have them, Obi?
Can you move back up just a minute in terms of that change
Sure.
order to Aikens? Did we already have money allocated or set aside for that?
We did. Oh, let me go back, let's go back to that just a minute, please. I would like to have the authorization to take those funds from the depreciation reserve account from rural development. They actually requested we do that.
So moved.
Second.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Want to present the,
I have some more
Pay
invoices for
request.
payment. Bell Engineering invoice 200035 in the amount of $4,047, funded by KIA.
Motion paid.
Second.
any opposed? All ayes have it.
Aikens Excavating invoice 21 in the amount of $183,371.42, to be funded by Paintsville Utilities.
Motion paid.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Cook Engineering invoice 24 in the amount of $23,209.26.
Make a motion to pay.
Second.
All those in favor?
There was still some grant money that went into that payment, this is already /Bank Utilities.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Boca Enterprises invoice 1693 for $5,300, to be funded by Paintsville Utilities.
I'll make the motion to pay invoice 1693.
That's only the retainage portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Boca Enterprises invoice 1692 in the amount of $5,033.75 for sewer replacement alley between 10th and 11th Streets. And this is the retainage.
Make a motion we pay.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? We're getting weak on our eyes here, guys. I'm gonna have a roll call here in a minute. It's either for it or against it.
Boca Enterprises invoice 1706 in the amount of $30,100, to be funded by Paintsville Utilities for sewer replacement on 6th Street.
Okay, I'll be perfectly clear on what's going on with this one. Those three were all part of a bigger project, those three we just did. 2 years ago, actually in December of 17, Commission authorized payment of this last one, once I'm satisfied. He's satisfied the project now, but I didn't want to come back 2 years later and just make that payment without y'all knowing what was going on. So if there's a motion needed, whatever.
I guess not.
If they gave authorization, just you representatives had to have a second.
Item number 5, review and approval of monthly invoices. A, legal services invoices.
Make a motion to pay Blankenship Law Office's legal services.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Show my abstention, please.
They got the
Get that back.
We'll have one abstention here.
Got it.
Don't make me do a shift here. A shift, Adam shift.
It's illegal.
B, other operating invoices.
Make a motion to pay the other operating invoices.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Any opposition?
No.
Ayes have it.
I just heard 2 ayes from this side of the table.
I hear no opposition, no.
I think next week on the other side.
Departmental reports.
Okay.
Item number 6.
One thing I would like to say, lady came up to me in church yesterday, said, I want to report one of your men. I said, oh boy. He was at my house at 3 o'clock this morning. I had a gas leak. But she was just so complimentary of how quickly he got there and how he treated her. He was extremely nice. So pat on the back.
You didn't say who it was.
That you real big?
You want me to put it out there? I'll be glad to. Keith Pelfrey.
Good deal.
Good deal. Kudos to Pete. Where we at? Departmental reports.
Anybody have anything that needs to add to the reports?
Still working on the membranes?
Oh, yeah.
I saw that last week.
Yeah, they actually came in week before last on number 2, the one that we're looking to replace at some point. Done an aggressive acid clean, and we've been doing a lot of work on it since they did that.
Well, maybe too aggressive. We actually, we do have someone working on alternatives. Talked to him Friday evening, late, and he indicates he should have a report for us fairly soon on the recommendation how we should move.
Is that part of the departmental reports on your chlorine gas versus your acid?
It was comment on it in there, but it's also a new business item. 8B.
The disinfection?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was asking about.
Mike, over at the Mountain Home Place, did they ever put a chopper pump in that? Is that what the headache is, or just too much trash?
Just all the leaves and stuff over there.
It sits back in the woods and
Yeah.
can't keep the stuff out of it. You put
Tree
some,
limbs around them lines.
you put some screens up trying to keep it out of it.
We done it on leaves, we're gonna put some over there on that one too.
Okay, I thought you'd done it at home place. I definitely need to get out there.
Yeah.
We did get a chopper pump on that one and everything, though. I thought we approved one of those a long time ago.
There's not a pump in.
No, it's just a gravity flow package
Yeah.
plant. It's gravity, it flows down from the whole place to the package plant.
I thought there was an issue a long time ago. So we doing, I guess, the toiletries that was coming through and not eating enough. I thought we put a chopper pump.
Not that location.
Anything else from the departmental reports? Old business, downtown I&I project.
We've already commented on that.
B, water treatment monitoring project, wastewater.
I'm still having some issues with the new influent meter. They did replace the initial one that wasn't reported at all, wasn't it?
No.
Now this one appears to be under-reporting. Have you heard from them last couple of days?
Phil Goggins is over there, I think. Let's see what day was it. I think it was Friday he came over. But the main thing is trying to get both of them calibrated.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that the influent ones, it might actually be reading high, hopefully it is.
Yeah, it is. And we're hopeful that it is just a calibration issue and they correct that.
You got more coming out than coming in?
Yeah, about 40% more.
We're making it.
You have to make it, I guess.
Yeah.
How's that do with the permits and stuff? They put us in a,
The last couple of months, we've been a little bit over on our permit. Still on average over the last several months, we're good. We are actively searching for new issues because it has gone up a little bit, or substantially actually on a percentage basis.
so whose responsibility is it now to get the monitoring system correct?
It's still Goggins.
So,
Still Goggins. Yeah, we have not closed that project out. I know Mike had his crew out today doing getting some baseline measurements and some manholes.
I thought we voted last month to close that project out with them.
Actually, in December, pending the report from Bell, and it's not been satisfied yet, so I'm still laying on my credentials, in my credentials. And Phil's working well with us, trying to resolve this.
Well, it's not a calibration issue, what could it be?
At that point, either comes to another faulty meter, or hopefully not a design problem.
What do you think there, Mr. Engineer?
The calibrations first.
Only replaced it once.
But it wasn't functioning then, it wasn't recording.
They had a bad control head then, but they went in and replaced the whole thing, and it's a mag meter. So I mean, you've got the actual piece that's in the pipe itself, and then you've got the control head. They went in and switched the whole thing out. And it's supposed to be a plug and play, you know, as soon as you hook everything up, it's supposed to be calibrated, but I don't really trust anything that's supposed to be calibrated straight out of the box.
Goes back, if it's not that, it goes back to design, so whoever designed it.
And somebody's got to make it right, there's no way around that.
Right.
Do you have any retainage on the design?
That shouldn't be a problem. Bell.
Report like it. I'm gonna pay the water bill. That's good.
You can make two, please, while you're at it.
Yes, sir.
I know.
Item number C, miscellaneous water system improvements.
We're still working on a property issue on that one. And so we had to do a habitat study for the Indiana bats. That's been completed and been sent to Department of Fish and Wildlife for their analysis.
Who did that?
It was done through Bell, they contracted with somebody to do it.
They give you a price on just the bat study?
You got that in?
Because I did one time, it was about $11,000.
Oh, no, it was more like 2,700. That invoice we just approved for Bell included that, and then the Bell personnel time on it, so it's
It's
4,400.
downstairs, I can.
No, that's fine.
That's what Tigers Creek does to everyone.
And we didn't budget for that in the project either, so of course it went any more than that.
Do you need anything else on that?
Don't think so at this point.
Item number D, Howell Addition Sewer Extension.
Yeah, I did meet with our rural development representative last week. I need to take a look at our finances where it's been so long since this got started, so I've been sending him information, and we'll send him more as requested.
Any questions? Item number E, other ongoing projects.
Nothing else.
Item number 8, new business, new trucks.
Yeah, in order to get our next round of trucks on schedule in the summer, it's time to go ahead and order 3 more. Need authorization to do so.
Make a motion to authorize Bob to execute the agreement with the Enterprise Fleet Management.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Did you hear Tim say that?
I heard enough. 3 of them.
You hear him?
I didn't hear
I heard you and you, there was 3 of you.
If you propose it, why would you say aye?
I'm just checking.
That's a new Marksburg Queen's rule or something.
That'd be cool.
He made the motion.
I didn't necessarily have to be in favor of it.
Well,
I wouldn't make the motion if I make.
moving right along. Item number B, Paintsville wastewater treatment, alternate disinfection.
Yes, this is something we've been wanting to look at. We did a short-term low-flow trial. We'd like to try the parasitic acid in lieu of the chlorine gas disinfection, primarily for safety reasons. Chlorine gas is a major concern to have on site.
I saw where you wrote that it was more expensive.
It could well be more expensive. We won't know for sure till we run the trial. This is what we use in Honey
Have you
Branch.
ever had any problems with the chlorine?
You know, have we ever had any?
We've had some samples out, but I mean,
No, with leakage on the chlorine.
not many, but I mean, it's, you know, anytime you go out there, you're at risk.
Yeah, it's a major concern in the industry. That was one of the big wins of the new water plant. First off, getting that larger amount of chlorine out of town, plus they were able to go to a safer type of chlorine instead of the gas that's a liquid form.
So why are we doing this?
Safety.
Try to eliminate the hazardous chemical gas. which spreads quickly over a large area in a leak.
With the ton seal in the lake, we gotta clear, I think it's a 5 mile radius.
Have you ever done that?
Nope, we not had that kind of leak.
Is it the same provider? Supplier?
As the chlorine? No.
Could this be something we'll bid?
We actually, you've been buying the parasitic acid from one source. That's the name of the company, Source. This is a different company, and it looks like we can buy the product cheaper through them. I don't know, the comment he made, he said he's not a chemical provider, he's a
Right.
process provider, so I don't know if he would just sell us the chemical if we didn't go with the system or not.
I mean, did he approach us on this, or we approach him?
I'll approach him.
I still like the idea that we bid these things out. I assume there's more than one supplier out there for this.
But there's not many yet, this is just a developing field. And actually, all we're asking for right now is the $8,500, which essentially purchases the acid. There's no commitment to go ahead and buy that equipment.
So we have a recommendation on the table for purchase of parasitic acid?
So if we buy the acid, is there equipment that we have to buy later?
If we stay with it, but you need a dosing mechanism.
So during the trial period, how are we supposed to use it if we have to get the equipment?
He's supplying that during the trial.
So,
And if we have the option to buy it at the end of the trial for about $10,000.
so it's just the whole thing, but we're paying for the chemicals.
Correct.
And it's 10,000 for the system.
That'd be an additional $10,000 for the equipment.
So it's about 19,000.
Yeah. The original contact was made with him was I was in a presentation that he made, and watching his system versus what we've seen was pretty impressive. It looks much more reliable. I think he's going to do a better job of properly dosing without overdosing, which is wasteful. You know, one issue we've had has been reliability of our pumps, and this looks like it's better stuff.
So what's the price difference from what we're doing now and?
Remember how much
I've never seen a bill for the chlorine.
for the pumps?
The one pumps that I've been getting, the honey wrench, which are basically throwaways, you might get close to a year out of them, they're about $500.
And they don't dose based on flow rate. You just set it at a flat rate, and to do that, you want to set it high to make sure you've got it covered. With this equipment, you can connect it to your metering system, your flow monitoring system, and it will adjust the flows of dosing accordingly.
And how often do we dose?
Constantly. You got to constantly dose that effluent.
So after the trial period, will be $8,500 again for the next 6 months, or will it be a higher cost?
The cost shouldn't change, but I understand too, part of this trial is determining exactly how much we are going to be using. He may be high, he may be low on how much we needed. We gave him what our flows typically are, and he calculated from that how much he thought we would need.
But he did say before he left, when he seen the effluent as clear as it was, he said he thinks that he kind of overshot on that, it would probably be less.
I'd rather he did.
Yeah.
You also indicate that if it's performs as expected, you may do the same thing at Honey Branch.
We would like to.
Don't we have that type of system at Honey Branch?
We do, as I was saying a minute ago, it's just a constant rate dosage. It's not flow-based.
If you flow paste Honey Branch, you can save some money on what I'm spending right now. Because right now, I mean, it's just set at a higher rate to make sure we get it killed. If we use a better pump that, you know, like I said, we can base it off of flow, as the flow drops, your liquid, your chemical's gonna drop. Basis right now, it's still staying wherever it's at.
Who put the system in at Honey Branch?
I did.
It's put in, what, 2013?
A long time ago.
So we're gonna do the trial, then we're gonna do a cost analysis.
Cost analysis and, you know, see how effective it is, make sure it's doing the job we need. And we'll come back with a recommendation later. Have you heard back from Division of Water?
Nope, I checked the email today, it's not replied back.
We have sent the basic plan to Division of Water for, I don't know if they have to approve, they just want to be aware of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say it's gonna be significantly more expensive.
I'm saying it may be, that's why I put that out there, just so I'm not blindsided.
It doesn't say maybe, it's that it is expected that the cost of PAA will be significantly more expensive than
Yes, sir.
chlorine gas.
Okay. But we're not sure, that's just my expectation.
Is that counting in us not using as much water to feed either?
It's still gonna be more expensive, I think, we're not sure, that's just my expectation. Your chlorine gas feeds with water, it's a 2-inch line constantly feeding that gas. It's a significant amount of water we use over there.
But for now, we're just gonna do the trial, and then, like I said, then we're gonna do a cost analysis.
We do the cost analysis
and
and analyze the effectiveness.
benefit cost ratio. Okay. Make a motion to go ahead and do the trial at Paintsville wastewater treatment plant for $8,500.
Entertain a second. Going once?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Any opposed?
No.
I'll finish with you.
Now, how much are we paying for the chlorine gas?
How about that? We'll do that, city analysis on that the other day. You're gonna be spending at least half that on chlorine. You got chlorine gas, and what's the dechloramide?
Sulfur dioxide.
Yeah, you got that. So it's gonna come out half or better. What would we be paying for this?
What was going to happen to it?
$42.50 is
So,
what we're
yeah,
paying.
what we're paying now is probably in the 50% range of what we're looking at here.
Are you saying you're gonna pay 50% in addition, extra?
No,
It's
the
gonna-
chlorine gas is about $42.50 is what we're paying now compared to the $8,500 they're asking for. Correct?
Yeah,
And-
but I want to make one comment is that 8,500 is 6 months. So
Yeah.
this is 17,000 a year plus equipment.
That's what I'm saying.
But the equipment's a
It just-
one-time thing.
But you're talking about wanting to do Honey Branch also. Would there-
If we're happy with this.
If you're happy with it, would there be any type of discount or anything they can work with us with if we do go this route?
We can
It's up to them.
talk with him about that. Of course, once again, our major concern and is the safety part of it. And not only for our people, but for the community.
What you're asking though is a trial period.
Correct,
And then we come back and say we want it or don't want it
exactly.
for $8,500.
Yep.
Okay, I vote yes. The ayes have it. For a trial.
So we're trying, that's all it is, it's all trial.
So I see it's we're gonna spend an extra $4,200 for the next 6 months to do this trial.
Yeah, we won't be feeding the chlorine or the,
Right.
Item number C, water valve replacement.
yeah, we had a pretty significant leak out in the Johnson Pacific Middle School area, the maintenance area, a few weeks ago. And to valve that off to repair the leak, you know, kind of put all the restaurants, Mayo Plaza out, school was out. We did it when they were out of school anyway.
Correct.
The reason being is there's a valve that's been paved over. If it got paved over on the highway, it probably wasn't a good place to start with. So our request is, well, we're planning to put a new valve in front of Johnson Central. So the question is how we go about doing that, whether we go in, cut the pipe, put in a new valve, put everybody out of water again, new boil water advisory, or if we have a contractor come in and do a live insertion.
That's my question. I noticed you wrote the contractor supposedly wasn't gonna have anybody out of water, no boil water.
Correct.
And if we did it, and I don't understand if we did it, why we're not doing it just like they did it?
We're not equipped
Yeah,
to do insertion.
Yeah.
There's a,
You said it.
I did. There's special tools you have to have in order to do that, and we just don't have that.
Like what is it? Can't rent it?
No, I don't know.
that I know of, there's probably only 3 local, well, it's called local, but around here that we can actually get to do this job. They go in, it bolts around the pipe. It's about all made together, and their tool goes in and takes the pipe out inside that. And then once they're done, we got a working advisory. Don't have to shut no water down, nobody loses service. And that equipment to do that, to get it with, honestly, I think it would be astronomical.
Where was the valve located that was paved over?
Right in front of McDonald's.
You know, it's a,
How do you,
Turn off lane,
how do you do it without the equipment?
you kill all the waters,
Shut
cut
the
the
water
pipe
out.
out, put a valve in place, and couplers, and
And we do have another price, other than what is in front of you too, from Key Tech, which is $6,180.20.
Versus us doing it at zero?
No, we still have the cost of the valves and other parts.
Well, I mean, parts.
Yeah.
Putting everybody out of water.
Yeah.
then
Yeah, our guys aren't a bit opposed to doing the work.
Right.
It's just, it's just major inconvenience and costly for a number of restaurants when we do that. Plus, the school may be on a boil water advisory, well, the way we do it. We would try to work around their schedule best we could.
Who's the other person you got the quote from?
Key Tech.
Key Tech, K-E-E Tech, I believe is the correct spelling.
And how
Local
much
guy.
would you do this?
6180.
what's the question?
About how long would it take to do that process?
I mean,
For which one now? Us or the
If they-
If
contractor?
you done it.
If we done it, at least a minimum 4 hours.
If they do it,
Yeah, maybe an hour, but no, that's with us going over there exposing the water
Yeah,
line.
even with this, we will expose the line for them.
They just come in, cut the valve in, and we cover up and leave, and then everybody's done. The biggest part of us is basically draining the line and getting everything pumped out of the hole to where we can get to the line to work.
and this way we don't have to do any of that.
So
Just
we
dig
can't
it
get
up
to
and
the
cover
line
it,
on the
it's-
321 though, the valve.
We won't tear up the road. And even if we did,
we can't detect it on the metal detector, and try to work was that to dig it up, we tried that day, and I can't find it.
Yeah, we know a roundabout area where it was.
Who made that decision to cover it?
It was made by the Department of Transportation, and we notified Paintsville Utilities to come and locate it, raise it wherever they needed. And if they didn't do it, we can't help it.
We didn't do it.
Are you saying Bobby did it?
I'm just saying, somebody had some miscommunications, or else the valve would have still been uncovered.
Then it wouldn't cost us anything other than just raising it.
And it'd be in a bad location.
Yeah, it would have been on the, or almost the white line.
So you got 2 contractors bidding on it.
Who is Key Tech?
Phyllis Keaton.
Phil Keaton.
We only was.
Y'all have any recommendations?
If you all want to go with the valve insertion, yes, I recommend Philip.
Keith?
Yes, sir.
I make the motion that we approve the insertion of the 8-inch main line in front of Johnson Central with Keytech, $6,180.
Have a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm gonna look this more recent.
No opposed. Ayes have it. You got to drink. We're not coming in here drinking this year. All y'all come in sober. Other new business.
Have one item. We discussed the need for a new video inspection system for the sewer system. That really involves the camera equipment and a properly equipped vehicle. It's going to take some time to get a properly equipped vehicle, or the right type of vehicle to be equipped, and use our governmental incentives. We could buy a unit that's already equipped, but we'll lose that incentive. So what we're looking at doing is, once we get a recommendation of which units we want to look at, is to go ahead and purchase the camera and then deal with the truck when we're able to get it fitted for the system. In the interim, we have an offer of the 15 passenger, Bob?
At least.
It's a dual wheel bus, small dual wheel bus, to use for that purpose. That offer came from Paintsville Tourism.
I thought the camera was supposed to be with the vac truck.
We actually looked, when we did that back truck, we actually looked at buying a camera, a new truck with camera equipment at that time. And obviously we decided not to do that at that juncture for some reason, but we had prices for the vehicle with all the camera equipment.
And one possibility for a truck would be to actually lease one like we do on other vehicles, with every intent of exercising our purchase option at the end of the lease. But we can determine that a little later. Right now, the things we need to make a motion on whether to accept the offer of this transferred vehicle from tourism. It's a 2009 F-350, E350.
Yeah.
I do. On my phone, a picture of it.
How much are we gonna spend on it to retrofit it?
Very little. Probably want to put some,
Mainly, I think mainly it's gonna end up being just, us working on it, and then maybe add a few lights on it.
I'd want to put some strobes on it.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be very expensive.
TV show. If we don't have to get them with the camera.
Well, yeah, well, I don't want to go with the camera, I'm talking about just keeping the man there, just for the bus. Maybe have to build a shelf or something for it inside, maybe.
Anything we do, we do ourselves on that.
We don't have the camera equipment yet, do we?
Not yet, and we're actually exploring that right now. We have 2 demos next week.
11th and 12th, I think.
Yeah.
So all we're gonna do is approve the transfer of this vehicle.
Students probably accept the offer.
On the demos for the camera equipment, is this from 2 different suppliers?
Yes.
About what's the cost of that gonna be?
We've had one demo, that was 70.
78, I think. But I think there was a couple of things we could have pulled back out of that.
Well, that's what we need to look at, is see what's available, what our needs are, and then tailor it from that. And hopefully we can get one that's retrofittable if we find we need something else down the road.
And that one has a locator too.
Yeah, that's the kind of questions we want to ask.
So that is 7,800.
1,000.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to ask which one that
Let me ask
was.
you something, why are we not bidding that camera?
We're not there yet, we're going to.
Well, but you're having people come in, you may be comparing apples and oranges because you're having these people put on these demonstrations, and then you say, well, they may be doing some things that we can back out of there. To me, to have a demonstration that has any value to it, everybody got to be on the same page in terms of what they're demonstrating, what they're bringing, what their capabilities are. I mean, it's almost like a pre-bid.
It's actually doing the research to determine what's available, what capabilities they have, and then to tailor our RFP for what we feel like we need.
Do we have a motion for the transfer of the truck?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Any opposition, opposed? Ayes have it. I do.
We can do potential litigation.
Item number 9, executive session. Do we need an executive session?
We do, to discuss a matter regarding personnel.
We have a motion for executive session.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposition? Ayes have it. Executive session. Do we have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
So second.
Do we have so ayes? Ayes have it.
Insofar as report, the commission addressed 2 issues involving personnel. The subject matter of both shall be withheld pending notification of the individuals involved. Otherwise, no action is taken.
I need to return to old business for just a second. I guess it was either the last meeting or the meeting before, I had given, I guess, Bob some proposals regarding some mowing equipment. It wasn't on the agenda, we've had no discussion about it. Just want to let what's going on in that so I can make a report back to the mayor.
Bob, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, we looked those over and looked at the machines. Great looking machines, but as far as us being able to use them in any way, we would destroy them. Any place that we would have to use them, there would be nothing left of them. Those mowing decks, those designs would never stand it.
I'll report that.
I make the motion, we adjourn.
So second.
All in favor? Any opposed? We have one opposed.
Sounds like something out of the 90s. I'm so sick.
So,